So good evening once again, you amazing people. Massive shout out to those who are listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience. And don't forget everyone, whilst you are in lockdown, if you do ever miss one of these live Monday night broadcasts, I do them every Monday night, 9pm till 10pm UK time. Sometimes we get people from all around the world joining, so I don't know what time it is for you lot there, but 9pm till 10pm UK time. Do it every single Monday on the Facebook group for Act on This, and that's facebook.com/Act on This TV/live. Facebook have started giving, and if you've got a page, you'll have one of these as well now. Facebook have started giving Facebook pages live sections of their Facebook page. So rather than me having to send a link out that's a load of gobbledygook to people when they want to join one of these live broadcasts, it'd normally be like facebook.com/videos/posts 2697531. You can actually catch up on all of these live broadcasts on Facebook at facebook.com/Act on This TV/live, or on the Act on This TV audio experience. And that's a free podcast. That's the audio from these live broadcasts that I put out every week again for free on Spotify, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts. Just search for Act on This TV, all one word. And if you are listening to this on the Act on This TV audio experience as a replay podcast, please tweet me at Act on This TV, at Ross A. Grant. Let me know. Well, I was going to say let me know where you're listening to it from, but right now, you're going to be listening to it from home. Normally it'd be like, are you in the gym? Are you walking the dog? Maybe you are still walking the dog. I don't know. We're still allowed to do that for now. So do let me know if you are listening. Huge shout out to those who are watching live, though. Bobby's here in the house. Annabella's here. Sharon Spink says, evening, how are you? Just spent the day with my agent being her birth partner while she had her C-section. Yeah. Wow, that's some special relationship you have with your agent, Sharon. Because I don't think my agent Jane's actually planning to have any children anytime. I think she's done all that, but yeah, I would never expect to be asked to be her birth partner. Fair play though. That's amazing. Hope I bet that was an experience. Hope it all went well. Thank you, Julie. Julie's here. Leo's here. How we doing, Leo? Hope you're good, mate. Esther's here. Been loving it, Ross. Look forward to the live so much. This week, do you know what? Let's just address the elephant in the room, right? I think, and just as a serious note for a second, this week, right now, as we stand in the UK, it's the 6th of April, do not underestimate. This week is probably going to be, and I don't want to bring the whole thing down, probably, do you know what, the worst week that this country is probably going to see within our lifetime. It's going to start getting very, very grim this week. I was absolutely gutted, regardless of what you think of any human being, political party or anything, right? Absolutely gutted to hear Boris Johnson has been taken into intensive care tonight, right? And I'm not aligned to any political party. I stay all out of that. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it enough to comment on it. I just stay in my lane and I talk about acting, right? But I'm gutted for anyone to get this. And this is just somebody who I'm like, man, come on, you've got to get through this. It's almost like he stands as like the guy who's supposed to be leading us through this, and for him to be really, really struggling with it like that just upsets me. So we are going to have a really rough week this week. It's going to get very real. It already has got very real. I hope and pray everyone watching this is doing all right, is safe, and all your loved ones are safe. And ultimately, that's the thing, right? I've seen a lot of actors putting a lot of pressure on themselves and getting really down about the fact that right now they're feeling a pressure to create. I think it's a pressure you're making up for yourself. I'm not seeing anybody pressuring me to create, to be creative. I'm not seeing any authority figures. I'm not seeing a single casting director say, if you're not using this time creatively, you're a loser. We're doing that to ourselves if we're doing that. And the reason you might be feeling bad and you might be pressurizing yourself, if you are one of those people feeling like that, is because of one reason and one reason alone. And that is because I promise you, this is what's happening. You are valuing the opinion of somebody else over the opinion you have of yourself. And it's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. You are worrying about what other people are going to think of you for not doing this or whatever, or, not creating something, as opposed to what you actually think of yourself. And you're a great person. You don't need to be creating anything. No one is putting that pressure on you at all. And if you are putting, some bullshit like, I don't know, a self-isolation web series you feel you should be making, or some self-tape you feel you should be making. I don't mean they're bullshit. I mean, like, for you, you might be like, you don't have, that is bullshit to put pressure on yourself to create that. You don't have to do it. If you're putting that ahead of just keeping yourself safe and your family alive, you just need to switch it. Got to switch it. The only thing any of us can possibly want from this situation right now is to come out of this safe and well. That's the goal. I don't feel any pressure. Like, I love creating stuff for you guys, and it keeps me busy. And, I said it's hard work, but, I'm choosing to do it, putting on all these live broadcasts each week for you lot. And it's amazing because I get to feel such a close connection through us all, and a load of support there. And that keeps me happy and keeps me focused, and it keeps me positive, as opposed to me just staring at the news all day and getting upset. But please don't feel any pressure to create something. It is fine right now if all you are doing is keeping your life together. Doing whatever. I had to do loads of boring stuff today, like loads of stuff for the apartment block that I live in, stuff about maintenance fees, all this kind of stuff, sorting out bin collections. You know what? And that took up a whole chunk of my day. It wasn't creative in that time, but I'm not going to judge myself because it's life. You need to just continue with your life, keep it running, to the best of your ability. So please don't feel any pressure to create at all right now. If you can and you want to, do it. But if you can't do it because you don't have time, or you're doing something else, or you just don't feel like it because things, aren't amazing right now for everybody, then just chill out. Please be kind to yourself. However, right, on the plus side, to get you through this week, right, and to keep you upbeat and give you energy and keep you motivated and focused on something that is going to be, positive for you, I've got some incredible live broadcasts coming up for all members of actonthis.tv. If you're not a member, then you really should be involved with this right now. There's never been better value in this whatsoever. If I go over to my web browser, hang on, it will have all gone black for a second, but don't worry, I'm going to bring my web browser on. If you go over to actonthis.tv/live, you can see what's coming up. I'm going to be playing you some behind the scenes videos now of what is coming up, and you're going to love it. This is such a great week. I'm doing 90-minute sessions with some of the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers in this industry, where you can literally jump on camera with these people, ask your personal acting career questions, and get one-to-one coaching live from the comfort of your living room on every Tuesday and every Thursday night. Tomorrow night, this Tuesday, I'll be joined by one of the biggest commercial casting directors in the country, Martin Gibbons from Martin Gibbons Casting. This guy is so good. Has anyone auditioned for Martin before? Because he's amazing. He makes the auditions such good fun. He's so good. Shelley says, I love these, even more than my TV date time. Cheers, Shelley. That's awesome. She loves the lives better than TV. Tony Rossi, how you doing? Stay on the broadcast, Tony. I want to put something to you towards the end of this broadcast, mate, and a few other people as well who might be up for doing something next week. Wendy, how you doing? But yeah, Martin cast some of the biggest commercials in the world. I mean, for the biggest brands. He was the guy who puts, Sly Stallone in the Warburton's commercial. Was Robert De Niro in the Warburton's commercial as well? But he does everything, for the biggest brands, Nike. I'm sure he's done stuff for Coca-Cola. Huge brands around the world. He's going to be coming on tomorrow night to talk you guys through commercial casting, because I know some casting directors are like, commercials and drama, it's all the same, it's just acting. I don't think it is quite the same. I don't know what your opinion on this would be. I think commercial casting a lot of the time requires a hell of a lot more improvisation, and it requires you to completely drop your inhibitions in a way that drama castings don't, because you can, to a certain extent, hide behind a character. In a commercial casting, you're nearly always kind of playing a version of yourself. You've got to improvise, and there might be 12 people staring at you whilst they're telling you to be a monkey jumping around the room after drinking 3 cans of energy drink. That was a commercial I actually went for once. Or they might be saying, I went for the Halifax commercials where they went, oh yeah, so you sat here and you work in a bank, and then Scooby-Doo walks through the door. And you're like, what? They're very, very different, I think, in my opinion, the way you approach them from a mindset perspective. So Marty's going to come on live tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. All members of actonthis.tv will get a chance to jump on that call and talk to him. I want to play you, in preparation for that, just a little video of a message from Martin and a guarantee that Martin is making everybody, and I will hold him to this. I think it's going to be true anyway. They keep on coming, folks. I want to invite you to another incredible actonthis.tv live event that's happening on Tuesday, the 7th of April, 7:30 till 9 p.m. over on actonthis.tv/live, with this man joining me live right now, one of the UK's biggest commercial casting directors, Mr. Martin Gibbons. Martin, it's been a while since you've been on the site. Thank you for doing this again.
You're welcome, Ross. Nice to be back.
Absolutely. I think last time we saw you, you just cast a commercial with Sly Stallone, the Warburton's commercial.
Oh, absolutely. It's up there with one of the weirder ones I've done. Yeah,
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And what we're going to be doing, guys, Tuesday night, you're going to be at a jump on camera with me and Martin. Talk to Martin one-to-one, get some career coaching, anything you need to know about casting commercials, auditioning for commercials, ultimately booking commercials, getting in the room with people like Martin, and taking your career, further, faster. If you do want to join us, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live to find out exactly how you can do that and get involved with loads of these live webinars that I'm doing with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers in TV. But Martin, I'm going to give you a few seconds to tell people why they don't want to miss this.
Crikey. Right. Well, I would say if you watch this for an hour and a half, I guarantee you will be better at commercial castings once you've watched it.
Well, there you go. Can't ask for more than that. We will see you there, 7:30 p.m, 7th of April. Until then, bye for now. Boom. So there is Martin Gibbons giving you an absolute guarantee that if you join us for 1 hour and a half tomorrow evening, 7:30 till 9, I reckon it might go on a little bit longer than that. Sometimes we just get into the swing of things, we enjoy ourselves and we overrun a bit. Going to give as many actors as possible face-to-face time with Martin on that call. He guarantees you will be better at commercial castings. And you'll also, what's so great about these, as opposed to the way I normally do podcasts for actonthis.tv, is that you are seeing the person. So on the podcast, I allow actors to ring in like a radio show, but obviously you're not seeing the person and they're not seeing you. This is an opportunity for you to be seen, and you just don't know, particularly when it comes to commercials, so much of it goes off people's looks. Martin might just be like, oh, they look very interesting. Right, I'll remember them. I'm not saying any, certainly not saying, you're going to get any kind of audition or anything like that off the back of it, but you just don't know. Many people off the back of the podcast that I do have had auditions with the people they have spoke to purely off the back of speaking to them. So it is a fantastic opportunity. That's happening tomorrow. I'm going to show you what else is happening on Thursday, but I'm just going to dive into the comments for a second. Sharon says her agent is also a friend. It was amazing. Well, that's good. Sharon was the birthing partner for those joining now for her agent today, but who is also her friend. Will, good evening. Hope you're doing. Andrew Lord in the house. Hope you're well, mate. Chuck, good to see you. Gina's here. Who else is joining us? Loads of people. Grace is in the house. I totally agree with feeling the creative pressure myself. This is so true. Please take the pressure off yourself, Grace. It isn't there. I promise you, no one in this industry is putting it on you. If we're feeling it, we're putting it on ourselves. You don't have to create anything right now. Please just stay safe and alive and well. Look after the people in your family who are vulnerable, who might need help. Ultimately, that's your only goal right now. Honestly, you can create as much as you want when this is all over, and it will be over. Like I said, we're going to face a very tough week, but hopefully after that, we will start, coming out of this. It's going to take a long time, but please don't put pressure on yourself to create anything. You just don't have to do it. You really don't have to do it, honest to God. I think if you feel the need to create, then great, but also take this time to heal your mental health. Yeah, definitely. And just, I think it's a nice time to just reset. So many things. I mean, I found it difficult because I've been doing all these broadcasts and stuff. I've been very, very busy, but just, do you know what it's doing for me? Gratitude. It's just cultivating massive, massive amounts of gratitude for the fact that, for so many things, that I am well, that I'm all right, that I have food, that, we have the internet. You know what? This would be a lot harder, wouldn't it, in 1988 if we didn't have the internet and we couldn't keep in touch. If I couldn't keep... My mum's blind and she's one of the vulnerable 1.5 million people who has to be shielded for 12 weeks, so I can't see her. But I get to see her... Well, she doesn't see me because she can't see, but I get to see her on FaceTime multiple times a day to check in with her and make sure she's all right. She's got a treadmill in her house that she can exercise and walk on because she can't get out normally anyway, so that's how she does her exercise and stuff. But it's so, you're just like so grateful for technology, so grateful for the little things. And we're all going to be so grateful to go out of the house in a few months' time and not be petrified of coming into contact with somebody. Because I don't know about you, but I had to go to Sainsbury's yesterday and I'm still proper paranoid. Like, I'm staying 5 meters away from people, never mind 2. And it is stressful going out in the world where normally that's just something we took for granted. I don't think any of us are going to be taking that for granted moving forward. I certainly am not, and I hope it lasts. I hope people don't forget this. So yeah, hopefully, it's helping other people kind of just cultivate gratitude. And when you come at life from that place of gratitude, Like, honestly, being creative and creating a self-tape while you're in isolation is just bottom of the list for me. It just doesn't matter. If one of you know, if a family member of yours was on a ventilator right now, the last thing you're going to be bothered about is being creative. Just don't even go there. Honestly, you don't need to. You don't need to put the pressure on yourself. Amy's here, says, don't stress about creating something amazing. Use the time to make yourself a better person. Read, talk, and exercise. With you, Amy, 100% with you. So who's had a commercial casting with Martin Gibbons? Absolute legend. He's going to be joining us, like I say, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Then Thursday night, I've got a cracker. Who's seen The Witcher on Netflix? Right? Do you know what? I'm not like a massive fantasy series, fan, to be honest with you. I love more kind of action stuff that's like real life, not magic and wizards and all that sort of stuff. Wasn't like, big on Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff. The Witcher, though, honest to God, if you've not seen it, you just watch episode 1, right? I'm gonna go back through it before Thursday because I've got the casting director for The Witcher coming on a 90-minute live broadcast for you guys. She's called Sophie Holland and she's amazing. She's great. Works with her casting associate Faye Timby, who hopefully I'll get on for a live broadcast as well, separately for you guys. Because I think casting associates come at casting slightly differently to casting directors. So I think I was going to get them both on together, but I think there's merit in having them on separately so we can get the most out of both people. But Sophie's great. The Witcher. Watch episode 1. It would win the award for the most blood probably in the debut episode of anything, right? So if you're squeamish, get ready. But it also, the tension and the what's on the line, I won't spoil it for you, but in terms of the odds, how they are like raised and raised and raised and raised and raised throughout episode 1 until the end, you'll be like, oh my God. It's very special in that sense. It's very, very different. Obviously it's set in a fantasy realm where there's magicians and all this sort of stuff, but an absolute superb piece of TV. Stars Henry Cavill and a great cast of actors. But yeah, I've got the casting director for The Witcher coming on Thursday night. It's going to be 8 o'clock. It's slightly different because Sophie's got a small child. So it doesn't start at 7:30. It starts at 8 o'clock, and that's this one here. If you go over to actonthis.tv/live, by the way, you can find out the full schedule of these, and you can get your membership if you've not got one. It works out, you're getting 8 of these a month for 17 quid. It's £2, like a 90-minute webinar, and a lot of the money goes to a charity of the guest choice. So we're doing great things, being a real positive, force of good in the world right now. But that's Sophie Holland, 8 p.m. till 9:30. Again, you're going to get to jump online with her, watch this, take part in it, jump on camera. Some people will get to ask their acting career questions live, get coaching. Again, I've got a little message from Sophie that I will play you guys in a second. Just going to get down some comments. I'm so sorry if I'm not seeing everyone's comments. Hundreds are literally coming through at once. So I am missing a few. Shannon says The Witcher is phenomenal, very original, and the continuity, it's something so strange in The Witcher, says Annabella. It is a very, very unique show. Martin cast my little boy when he was 4 in his first commercial, said Mandy. First casting, still on with it 10 years later. Martin has a lot to answer for. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Honestly, Martin Gibbons so good. He's coming on tomorrow night, and then, yeah, Sophie on Thursday. Chris is the filmmaker. He's given me the real word for it. It's called escalation. So it is. I don't think I've seen, Chris, such escalation in an episode of anything bar episode 1 of The Witcher. I think it's a bit of a masterpiece in that sense. It's not a perfect show by any means. There's some stuff that's a little bit, anything with loads of CGI. I think sometimes okay, that didn't look quite as real as it could have done. But it's so CGI. There's obviously a lot of stuff in there, but some of it is phenomenal, and the acting's incredible. The acting's really, really good, really, really strong from everybody. A lot of young actors in The Witcher as well that are just brilliant, really, really good. But we're going to be talking to Sophie all about it on Thursday. Here is a little message from Sophie about why you should join, and if you do want to join us, actonthis.tv/live. Like I say, get your membership, and you'll get invites to all of these and more. Actors, these events just keep on coming. I want to invite you to an incredible live actonthis.tv webinar, a 90-minute Q&A happening on Thursday, the 9th of April at 8 p.m. till 9:30 with this amazing lady here, casting director of many, many projects, but obviously the one big one you're known for, Sophie, is The Witcher for Netflix. Sophie Holland, welcome to Acts on This. Thanks so much for doing this.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to chat to you, and all the actors at home can maybe join in and ask some questions.
Absolutely, you are going to be able to join in, and in an incredible way, guys. You're going to be able to watch this Q&A, but also get involved yourself. You're going to be able to jump on camera, pitch your acting career questions, anything on what you like, auditions, casting, marketing, ultimately, getting further in your career faster. There are no stupid questions, bar the questions you do not ask. You're going to be able to jump on live and talk to Sophie for a bit of one-to-one career coaching. If you want to get involved, get over to actonthis.tv/live. You'll find out exactly how you can do that, along with a load of other webinars you can get involved with over the coming weeks. Sophie, going to put a bit of pressure on you now, but why don't they want to miss this?
Because this is going to be a no-holds-barred conversation where we will talk about everything and anything you want to talk about. See you there on Thursday.
Look at that. Sophie could be a presenter as well, couldn't you? See how she did that at the end? Put her on the spot there, totally improvised. Just like, why should you be there? She's like, because this is going to be a no-hold-bars conversation. See you there Thursday night. And that's what I love about Sophie. She just seems very, very honest, open, to the point. Again, you're going to get a chance to jump on camera and just put your acting career questions to her, and just everyone's going to learn from all those questions as well. So even if there'll be hundreds of people on that broadcast. If you don't get a chance to ask a specific question, I'm going to get through as many as we possibly can, and we'll do a quick fire round as well. But I promise you'll learn so much from watching other people ask their questions as well. I'm going to show you some little clips of previous webinars we did last week, and someone was eagle-eyed in the comments there. Who was it? Annabella, I think, and said, "Wow, Dan Hubbard too." Yeah, I've not done a trailer with Dan yet. I'm going to jump on Zoom with him probably tomorrow or Wednesday. But if we go back to the web browser, yeah, you will see there. Dan Hubbard is going to be with us next Tuesday from 7:30 till 9. Dan comes from the Hubbard family, obviously, and there's Dan, there's Amy, their parents, Roz and John, were absolute epic casting directors. A huge dynasty of casting, really. They cast the biggest shows and films on the planet. Dan's an incredible guy, incredible casting director, and again, so honest, stands for no bullshit, just says it as it is. I had a great 40-minute conversation with him last week. He's currently in Ireland at his mum and dad's at the moment. He's getting his Irish accent back as well a little bit. That comes and goes. But he's just a really sound bloke, proper normal. And has auditioned some of the biggest stars in the world. He was the guy who put Benedict Cumberbatch on camera. To forgive me if I pronounced the name wrong, but Benedict played Smaug, didn't he? Was it Lord of the Rings? I've seen it. I've not seen the full film. I told you I'm not a huge fantasy guy, bar The Witcher. But yeah, he's the guy who's given people massive breaks in huge films. So again, you're going to get a chance to jump on camera and speak to Dan as well. That's next Tuesday. Next Thursday will either be, and I don't know what's going to happen yet, it will either be a roundtable webinar with the cast of Sky's new drama Gangs of London, or it will be with agent Janet Hampson. I don't know because of the dates who's going to be able to make which, but we will be live again next Tuesday and next Thursday, and for the foreseeable. As long as we're in lockdown, I've committed to doing a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Monday. It's crazy, really, but we're loving it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm hoping I'm keeping you guys as entertained as possible, and hopefully the stuff I'm putting out is really useful. I'll play you, for those of you that haven't been on one of the live broadcasts yet, one of the webinars, I'll play you a little mashup in a minute of some stuff that happened last week and the week before. We had Kelly Valentine Hendry on, fantastic casting director, one of the biggest in the country. We also had Ed Spleers, the star of Downton Abbey and Outlander. Chris Stone himself did a 3-hour workshop with us last week on getting your show reel seen on social media. I then had Hannah Quinn, the director of Netflix's The Stranger, on Thursday night. That was an amazing one. I mean, they've all been absolutely fantastic. Kev from Ireland, here he is from Dublin. Kev, great to see you, my man. Hope you're well, Linda. Hope all is good. Linda's saying the sound's a little bit low. Turn it up, Linda. I'm definitely coming through loud and clear, aren't I, everyone? When I'm playing it back during I'm playing clips, it's nice and loud for me. So maybe you just need to turn it up, Linda. Maybe you've knocked the volume or something. I have a stage combat sword skill, so would suit something like The Witcher. There's some freaking phenomenal fight scenes in The Witcher. That's something I'm definitely going to ask. I'm going to ask Sophie about in terms of the training that went into the fight scenes. some of them are, I mean, phenomenal. Won't spoil it for you again, but episode 1, just watch episode 1. There's an incredible fight scene in the like the market, this oldie worldy market towards the end of episode 1 that is just phenomenal. I mean, like the choreography. I'm just not going to spoil it for you. Just phenomenal. Fact of the day, says Chris Stone, it was between Daniel Craig or Henry Cavill to play James Bond in Casino Royale. Henry Cavill's just gone. I mean, what was Henry's first massive break? Obviously, Superman was a huge thing for him. But what did he do before that? Because he kind of only hit my radar for Superman. But I don't know what he did before that. Obviously, I can't keep track of every single actor's career in the world. But Chris will know because he's a massive geek. That's my favourite Bond film. First one I ever liked, says Janet Lilly. I can't believe, what's it, on a thingy, Pussy Galore died today, didn't she? 94, though, I think it was. Crazy times. I want to get to 100. That's my goal in life. Do you know what? That's my actual overall goal in life. Forget acting or anything like that, and awards and money. I want to just get to 100 or more. That's what I want to do. Henry Cavill could probably still make a good Bond. I think he could, Nick. I think you're probably right, mate. Definitely. Without a doubt. And it was The Hobbit for Benedict Cumberbatch and Smaug. I told you, mate, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, really. He was in The Tudors. Chris, you've got to press will someone type in the comments to tell Chris if he's got no sound? That's Chris Pan. He needs to press the little audio thing in the little speaker in the bottom right hand corner of his screen. You can all hear me, can't you? Definitely. I can see sound coming through, no problem. Must be my mobile that is low in sound, said Linda, sorry. Yeah, everybody can hear me. So someone write to Chris Pan to check his speaker symbol. Right, I'm going to play you, for those who have not been on a live webinar yet, I'm going to play you a little mashup of, I don't know what I've got knocking around on my desktop, actually. I think I've got a mashup from Kelly's webinar. I'll show you what it's like. We do them on Zoom, basically, but it's a little bit different to the Zoom setup you're probably used to using if you use Zoom meetings. This is a different version of Zoom. Still built on Zoom, though. If you don't know what Zoom is, it's a video conferencing piece of software. But ultimately, it looks a little bit like this. Here's a little bit of a mashup of Kelly Valentine Hendry's webinar the week before last. Let's have a look then. Let's dive into the Q&A. I'm just going to do it at random. Let's see what questions we've got here.
Hi, Alan.
There he is.
Two meters, please.
Pardon?
2 meters.
Yeah, 2 meters, please. I'll get back.
Yes.
Right, we're all yours, mate. What it's you and Kelly now. What do you need? And I'm going to ask you to start your video. Oh, there you go.
There she is. There she is. Okay. Yeah, good, thanks. You okay?
Nice one. Well, this is working swimmingly, Kelly, isn't it? This is going very well.
I hope so. Can I eat an orange?
Of course you can. This is,
Hang on, I'm going to get it. I just haven't had supper.
Go get your orange. I'll figure out who's coming on next. Oh, straight in. What can we do for you, dude?
Hi, Mark. Hi,
Here
Sharon.
she is.
Hi, Kelly.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Really
Good.
well.
What can we do for you? Your question is one that I get asked loads.
Which one? I asked 3.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh, you were saying one about.
Yeah.
You were saying one if
Yeah.
you're you know a little bit older and you're coming to the industry. Cara, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi, Cara.
absolutely. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Amazing. There he is, the lad.
Hello.
Hi, Oliver.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh, you look like Will
so
Young,
doing this.
don't you? You look like Will Young. Is that what
There he
everyone
is.
says? Here
Yeah.
he
Think I
is.
better leave right now.
Smile, isn't it? It's that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Will.
Yasmin's interesting as an actress because she can talk a million languages, Kelly.
Oh, no.
Yasmin, talk to us.
No, please, in English.
Yeah. Auf English, bitte. Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, you're on your
Hi.
side.
Turn your phone the other way or whatever it is. You're upside. You're on the side.
How
There you go.
fun.
Wrong way to do it. To be fair, that was the correct way to do a self-tape.
Oh.
Yeah. And this will be the last question of the night. Safa, how are you?
Hi.
All right, Safa, hi.
Hi, Ross. Thank you
Have
so
I-
much. Hi, Kelly.
Have I said your
Hiya.
name right?
Safa?
Safa, yeah? There we go.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's
It's not that hard. So there you go, actonthis.tv/live if you want to get involved with the ones this week. But yeah, so they're just dead good fun. Honestly, dead relaxed. Kelly Valentine Henry, one of the biggest casting directors in the country, sits in a kitchen, and you get to jump on camera and get some career coaching one-to-one. You can't get better than that. You literally get to sit there with a glass of wine or whatever you like, and ultimately, get further in your acting career with your feet up. So that was Kelly's. I'll play you a bit of Hannah Quinn's in a minute. She was the director of The Stranger for Netflix. She was on Thursday night, and like I say, Martin Gibbons tomorrow night, and the Witcher casting director Sophie Holland on Thursday night. Do come and join us, and you all get a replay as well, by the way, on this.tv. It goes into the members area. If you can't make it live, you get to watch the replay. That's there forever for you to watch, along with 250 hours of podcasts and videos that are already in the members area from the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, and producers that I've been creating over the last 10 years. I'm new to this, so can I ask if you would ever do a roundtable of teenage actors? Do you know what? I mean, it would depend, really, in terms of... I mean, the site actonthis.tv is definitely, for adults, so there would be older teenagers. There's nothing wrong, with getting some, anyone 17, 18, 19 on to do a round table. There is a new drama coming out on BBC from Russell T Davies in the fall called Boys. It's an incredible drama. I went to the read-through for it. It was one of the best dramas I've ever been at a read-through for. Honest to God, the most moving script in the world. It's based around the AIDS crisis in the 80s, when that first came out. No one really knew what it was or, what on earth was happening. Incredibly, emotional, but also very funny at times. Drama. Russell T Davies is just a genius writer. And that's got a very young cast in it. Got quite a lot of lads in it in their late teens. I've already approached the production company to see if they would do a roundtable, with the cast of Boys and maybe Russell as well. So it's definitely something that I would, I would consider doing 100%. Nothing is off limits, and I'm going to talk at the end of this as well about a roundtable I want to do next week with some members of the community involved in as well. I'll tell you how that's going to work at the end of this broadcast. Andrew said he met Honor Blackman at Comic-Con. She was lovely and great. Talk about film, and did a great talk about film acting. No way. Awesome actress. I think I was at the same Comic-Con, said Chris Stone. Chris Stone has not ever been to... There's not been a Comic-Con that Chris hasn't been to, basically. Every single Comic-Con I've ever seen online, Chris, you've had photographs taken at, mate. It's very relaxed. It's Annabella. Only to think about the questions. So many for Sophie. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you're going to get a chance to ask like one question. But I guarantee you, everyone else is asking questions that you'd probably want to know the answers to anyway. That's what's so great about the webinars is you will learn, even if you don't get a chance to speak one-to-one, you will still learn so much from seeing other people because, get questions answered. Because this isn't like a workshop that you go to where you just sit there. I think they're so useless, a lot of the workshops, where you sit there and you watch other people perform for 2 hours and you get 6 minutes and you don't really learn from any of the other performances, because there'll be people of all different levels in there. You might be better than other actors in there. You might not be. So I guess you might learn from those who have got more ability than you right now. But I don't think you learn all that much from watching, 10 pairs of other actors perform the same script. Just workshops need to just get their act together and start giving more value. On these, everyone's asking questions that are relevant practically to everybody. So everybody, regardless of whether you are, it's your turn to speak or not, you're learning throughout the whole 90 minutes. And like I say, you will get a full recording of that as well. You get the audio-only version, the video version, so you can listen to it as a podcast or you can watch it. It's just, and it's there for you for as long as you're a member. So it's super valuable. But yeah, actonthis.tv/live if you want to get involved. Leah said, I just realized I was on the LinkedIn one. It was just me and one other person. Yes, whoever is watching this on LinkedIn, if you are the one person, massive gratitude for you. But we're all over on Facebook. That's where I'm reading the comments. I am going to get some software at some point that will allow me to, accumulate the comments from all platforms that I'm broadcasting on. So I will be able to interact with everyone at some point. Right now, I don't have it. Well, it does exist, but it's buggy as hell. It's very buggy. It doesn't work all that well, so I'm waiting for it to get better before I start using it. Matt, how you doing, mate? Hope you are well, my man. Me and Matt were talking about TikTok, the social media platform that, again, for creators, if you do want to be creative right now, and again, there's no pressure to be, TikTok is definitely a platform I think actors should be exploring. It used to be a platform called Musical.ly, which was kind of like a skewed and much younger for like younger kids. They were doing all the lip syncing stuff and miming to songs and things like that. There's a lot of dancing and stuff going on in there. Now it's skewing to all kinds of niches, including the acting niche. Particularly if you do comedy. If you do comedy and you do comedy sketches and skits, you should be checking out TikTok if you want to get creative at this time. TikTok is a platform you might not know anything about, but if you want to get a lot of momentum quite quickly because it's a new platform, you'll still be early to the game. TikTok is something that you should definitely be exploring. Just go and consume some content on TikTok first of all. Just watch TikTok for an hour and just see all the different things on there and just see what's being created on there. But it's super cool platform. Love Russell T Davis, says everybody. He's so good, isn't he? How do we get to ask the questions? Do we email beforehand? So Leah, no, you don't. So what happens is on the night on Zoom, I'll play Hannah's to show you. On Zoom, it's slightly different to the Zoom that most people use. There'll be a Q&A box on this one. I use a different version of Zoom. You'll have a Q&A box and a chat box. You put your Q&A, obviously, in the Q&A box. I go through them, and the most pertinent questions, basically the questions that are, I feel will relate to most people, and be really valuable for people to ask, and to get answers for, I will bring you on camera and you get to put your question to the guest. So again, for those who don't know how we do this, here's a little mashup of Hannah Quinn's. Hannah was the director of The Stranger. She directed the episode that I was in. We talk all about The Stranger on this webinar, how she casts actors, what she looks for in auditions, what makes a great audition, how she works with actors on set. It was a really, really good chat. You can still get a recording of this if you get a membership to actonthis.tv. Go to actonthis.tv/live and you can join in all these upcoming broadcasts. But here's a little another little mashup of how it works, Leah. And then we're going to do loads of Q&A where people can basically jump on camera, Hannah. They're going to be able to speak to you one-to-one, pick your brains on anything they like.
What a first rehearsal was like with you once you have booked a job, what kind of process you go through with your actors, because I know film could maybe go a little quicker than theatre.
What is the difference between a really decent, capable audition and a really special, brilliant audition?
Got my little glass of vino here on the go, so don't mind me.
Oh, well done.
It's necessary, definitely. I mean, how do you end up with massive jobs like The Stranger, Fate, The Winx Saga, and Intergalactic? Are you on a bit of a roll now, do you think?
I think I am. I've never had jobs lined up ever in my life. I suppose I went in with my 2 days of binging The Stranger book and learning about Harlan Coben's work.
Did you put something out on for BBC Three to hear today?
Not BBC Three, BBC Two.
Oh mate, it was so funny. Tell them what you're in. You're in something. What is it?
So basically it's a hi Hannah. Hi Sam. It's basically a short. It's a pilot episode for a comedy written by Sophie Willan. And it's got some great people in it. It's got Siobhan Finneran and James Baxter.
Who was in The Stranger?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I think my question is really, at what point, when you're collaborating with your editor, at what point do you go, this is it, it's done now?
I think it's you have to decide. I can't do any better. You just I think you should keep working at it until you're happy with it.
Look at the dog.
Oh. Play with me.
Like, come on, I want to be on telly. We'll get the dog apart as well.
Show young women, young girls that women can direct and women have a point of view and that our perspective is normally communal, and it's about trying to make the world a better place for everybody.
actonthis.tv/live. I'll keep plugging the link there if you want to get involved with these. But yeah, that's how it works, Leah. So you basically just put your question in the chat box on the night when you're attending, and it's such a simple platform. I literally will just click a button. It'll ask to use your camera. It'll say, all right, Leah, Ross wants to bring you a camera. Do you accept? You can click yes, and then bang, you're there. Then you put your question to the guest. And you have some, 5 minutes one-to-one time, so you can, you can get some coaching. And what normally happens is those conversations you've had then carry on social media. I know Lindsay, who was talking about, when do you know if your edit is right? Continue to have a great chat with Hannah and build that relationship on Instagram afterwards. So it's just great access to people in the acting industry that, a lot of the time you just wouldn't get the chance to talk to. And I agree with you, Alex. The dog, I think it was, whose dog was it? I can't remember whose dog it was. Georgina, I think, was asking the question about, what a first rehearsal is like on set when you're first doing TV. She's a graduate from drama school at the moment whose showcase has been cancelled, obviously because of the crisis we're in right now. And she was saying, listen, what would a first rehearsal be like when I get on set with you? And that can be really daunting, when you do go on set and you're joining an ensemble, you're as a day player in a huge cast like The Stranger. You can absolutely, no exaggeration, turn up on set and you will have 100 people looking at you and just expecting you to get on with it. You should, expecting you to know your lines inside out, be able to walk on set, do a line run, block it through, maybe have a rehearsal for lighting, a rehearsal for camera, and then, at speed, action. And then they expect you to pull it out of the bag. And that can be, for your first TV job, if you're walking on to deliver even just 2 or 3 lines on a show for Netflix that, that scale, can be nerve-wracking as hell when you're first doing it. Even years down the line, I still get those kind of right, come on, let's kind of, that's kind of positive nerves, but you get nerves. Of course you do. You still get a bit nervous. So, she talked all about that, how she handles that, how she likes to meet actors before before a shoot, even if it's just for 30 minutes or something like that, even if they're just, they're just coming in for a couple of lines, she still wants to meet them. All that sort of stuff. It's a really, really great chat. And again, you're just getting to meet people virtually from the comfort of your own home, which is cool. Matt says, I also think Netflix is amazing. There'll always be a job for someone somewhere once Netflix reaches its peak for actors and voiceovers. Yeah, it's killing it, Matt. It's honestly, Netflix and Amazon, Hulu in the States particularly as well, are absolutely changing the game. The BBC and ITV over here in the UK will not survive unless every production or most productions they do are co-productions with these big streamers, and that's what is happening now. Most productions are co-productions, whether part funded by Netflix, part funded by BBC, part funded by ITV or Netflix and Amazon, that sort of stuff. It's changing the landscape for us, definitely. And Esther says there's going to be studios here for Netflix only productions. Sure, there is, all around the world, Esther, absolutely. Netflix originals obviously taking over. So what have we got? Let's have a look. So we've got about 15 minutes left. What do you want to chat about? I mean, let's do a bit of Q&A, open Q&A on absolutely anything you want for a minute. Again, for those who are just joining or just stumbling across this, anything I spoke about so far about these upcoming webinars that I've got for members of actsonthis.tv, you can go to this page here if you want to find out more. It's actsonthis.tv/live. You can get your Acts on This membership. It will get you access to the recordings of every live webinar I've done so far over the last 2 weeks. It will get you access to every upcoming webinar. This week, I say we got Martin Gibbons on tomorrow night, one of the biggest commercial casting directors on the planet, casts for the biggest brands in the world. And then Thursday night, we've got Sophie Holland, the casting director for The Witcher, doing a 90-minute Q&A. And then next Tuesday, we've got Dan Hubbard, one of the biggest casting directors again in our industry, doing a 90-minute Q&A the Tuesday after. And then the Thursday after that, we have got another one that I will confirm very shortly, but it will either be with Janet Hampson, the agent. She's a casting director turned agent, actually. Was a fantastic casting director for many years, cast a lot of comedy, a lot of big comedies for the BBC. As well as she cast Coronation Street for quite a while as well, when Jenny Radcliffe, I think, was on maternity leave. I think Janet did probably a year of Coronation Street as well. Now she's turned to being an agent, and she's doing a cracking job. So I've got her coming on talking about that, and no doubt she'll be looking to sign new clients as well. So if you are looking for an agent, make sure you get on that one, because we're going to get the scoop on what Janet is currently looking for, maybe what holes are in her roster of actors that maybe have a U-shaped hole to them that you could fill. We'll get you the lowdown on that. And of course, you also get access to all of this. You get access to 250 hours of podcasts and broadcasts and video interviews with the biggest. There's Chris Stone. He's on the broadcast tonight with the biggest actors, casting directors, agents, directors, writers, producers. There's Dan Edwards. I'm sure he'll do another live broadcast with us. He's only just done a podcast with me recently. That was a great video podcast. You can watch that on actsonthis.tv. It's a 3-hour in-depth video podcast, but really, really in-depth. Daniel casts Line of Duty and other massive TV shows, but you'll also get access to absolutely everything that is on that site. There's Pete Hunt, casting director for Hollyoaks. If you want to get in Hollyoaks, You want to watch that? So there's loads going on there. If you've not got a membership, actonthis.tv/live. But for now, for the last 15 minutes, what do you want to chat about? The floor is yours. I want you to shape this now. What do you need? Anything you need. And also any suggestions, for anyone else you want to get on for a live webinar. If there's a particular casting director you're like, Ross, I would love you to get them on. I put a post up about this in the Facebook group just yesterday. Loads of people have replied to it, but if you've not, get over to the Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/ActOnThisTV. Request to join if you've not joined already, and find the little video I put in there yesterday. I've got an orange t-shirt on in it, and just write in the comments there who you would like me to get on as well, because would love to know that I'm giving you ultimately what you want. I feel I've got a good gist for what this community wants and needs, but nothing better than you telling me yourself, because I know I'm definitely getting it right. Matt says, I keep thinking about how the acting industry is going to be when everything starts calming down for the situation we are in. It's going to be bloody joyous, Matt. I cannot wait, because do you know what? There was a lot before this happened. This is just truth and real, and you'll have seen this if you spend a lot of time on social media. There was a lot of entitlement in our industry. It was becoming that way. It really was. I felt we were hitting a crescendo of entitlement from actors who just they're just sort of like, there was a lot of complaining about a lot of dumb shit, Matt. A lot of people complaining about stuff that really didn't matter, and whinging about how hard it is, how unfair it is, how casting directors aren't this, that, and the other, not realising that actually what they were asking for in this world was a 1% life, in terms of to be a successful actor and to get paid a lot of money to do something that you love doing. You are asking for the world that 99% of human beings on this planet just don't get. So it should be hard, right? You cannot just expect to wake up one morning and go, yep, this is what I deserve. No, you've got to work your absolute ass off. And I think one thing that this crisis will do, not just in our industry, but for the human race, I would hope, is make people realise just how grateful they should be for the little things in life that really, really matter. And they should be grateful for just having the ability to play at this game of becoming a successful actor. And I mean, I don't mean to play at it as in to dabble at it. I mean to actually to be alive and have the opportunity to be in the game, to be a player within this industry, to fall in love with the process of going, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy every minute of like trying to get to that place and to get to that point, because just being able to walk out to an audition and be in a room with other actors is such a privilege, because right now none of us can do it without literally risking our lives. So I just hope it brings perspective and gratitude, to a whole new level, not just in our industry, but just across the board for everybody, so that when you do get a no for an audition, it doesn't crush the shit out of you. When you get rejected, you don't go home crying about it. You go, oh, okay, that's all right. I'm alive. I get another chance to play at this tomorrow. I can send more emails, because there will be thousands of people, as you know right now. There'll be thousands of people over the next week who are going to lose their lives, who will never get a chance to play in this industry again. And there probably will be people. There already has been people. There's been agents in this industry I know already who have died through COVID-19. It's dreadful. Like, just people just need to stop complaining and just start, just being grateful that they've got a shot at it, basically. So I think for me, that's a big focus for me, is like, look, this has really helped me reset about what's important in my life. And it's not a job. It's not a job. Trust me, it just is not a job. If you're, a family member is on a ventilator right now, money means jack shit. Jobs mean nothing, nothing can buy you health. So it's just about gratitude from that perspective. What do you do, says Amy, with your showreel if most of your work is commercials with non-speaking short film and film roles, even though they may be lengthy? Asking for my son. So you should separate it out, Amy, on, you know what, the rule of thumb is you would definitely separate commercials out from, the film work. What will be useful, to be honest, is just like, if one of those, you don't need loads of scenes when you're first starting out, particularly if your son's young, to just show, ability to an agent or a casting director. If your son just has one solid scene, or even just, 30 seconds of footage from those films, were they all non-speaking? Was there any lines? It would be very valuable to pick the stuff out where there is speaking, because obviously that's what they're going to want to see. As opposed, non-speaking stuff's not that useful, because you can't really tell much from it, can you? You don't know someone's accent, you don't know their intonation, you don't know whether they can deliver lines naturally. If he's got nothing, it would be worth filming some self-tape style stuff. If he's really young, you can get away with that. If you're an older actor in the industry, you can't really get away with that when it comes to casting directors. But the younger you are, the more leeway you're given in this industry. You're given a lot more kind of freedom to show your ability the younger you are. The production quality of the stuff doesn't have to be as good. They just want to find kids who have great natural ability, and you will be guided by good agents and casting directors if that's the case. As you get older, they expect you to do all that yourself, so you get very, very little leeway when you kind of hit 16 plus, 18 plus probably. But if he's young, then you could film some stuff yourself to show casting directors and agents. It doesn't have to be super great production values, or you would get involved with somebody like Chris Stone and get him to shoot you something that was custom, getting to put your son in a scene with an actor he recommends, who's very, very good, and completely it would probably be an adult, or a kid who's completely not in the casting bracket of your son. So there will be no competition within that scene, and just one solid scene is enough when you're starting out for a reel. You don't need 5 scenes, and you don't want, as we would keep banging on about, you don't want a reel to be over 2 minutes and 20 seconds anyway, regardless of how many scenes it's made up of. So you don't need an awful lot to make an impact. One solid scene for your son would be enough for now. But yeah, we'll separate the commercials out. It is a different discipline. If you're on the broadcast tomorrow night with Martin Gibbons, we'll talk about the difference between commercial casting and drama casting. Like I say, some casting directors don't think there's a difference. I do. It's just subjective opinion. I know from being an actor, I approach commercial castings in a much different way to drama castings, because a lot of the time in commercials, I am playing a version of me. And you can argue that in a drama, because you probably are, but there's a script and there's lines, and you can do stuff with that you can't in a commercial, where most of the castings are going to be, nearly all the time, they're improvised. It'll be like, right, pretend you're looking at this yacht. Oh, right, it's just blown its horn and it's shocked you. Now show me your shocked face. It's like, it's not a good example, I just made it up, but all kinds of crazy stuff they ask you to do that's not scripted. So yeah, I would keep that separate, so you can send that to the relevant people, as and when opportunities come up. I'm still getting through the Daniel Edwards podcast, says Leah. Leah, it's freaking good. It's really good. We get to the point where we get really honest, I think, and we weren't even drinking, right? But the longer that podcast goes on, the more Daniel's like, right, I'm just going to tell you how it is. Very, very honest podcast. You should enjoy it, definitely. Someone said getting Daisy May Cooper on the other day to discuss creating a star in your own award-winning TV comedy. Lee, it's absolutely one of the top of my list, because I think Daisy May Cooper is probably the kind of person who would get involved with someone like this. She ultimately created her own show with a brother from scratch, great comedy, and won a BAFTA for it. She's been doing a lot of Instagram lives, sort of talking people through that process as well. I would love to get her involved with That's On This.tv. I will definitely be dropping her a DM on Instagram to try and make that happen. Jack says, question, if you're about to graduate from college doing acting, what would be your recommendation on what to do next? Jack, man, what a great opportunity, and a great position you're in. So you're just about to leave. So you'll be fresh, you'll be enthusiastic, you won't be jaded and bitter yet, because the industry won't punch you in the face, which is great. What you should do, mate, is quite a few things. And my advice, sometimes people would be like, oh, you can't say that, that's not, you shouldn't be teaching people to do that. I'd be like, you want to find the best people in this industry you can find and offer to work for free. People will give me loads of shit for that. Oh no, you can't work for free. You know what? You need to, and I'm just doing it off my own experience. When you're first starting out, if you can seek out people who are making quality stuff and you can give them more value than you are asking for to be in their stuff, to obviously you've got to prove to them you're a good actor. But for your first couple of jobs, mate, you just got to just take it on the chin and go, yeah, you know what? If I can get close to influential people that are going to improve my network, and I can offer them as much value as I possibly can, and if that means working for free, even not on set as an actor, even going on set just to help out and work for free, go, can I just shadow you and be on a set and just see how all this works. You're going to learn so much more being on a set than you've learned at college over the last 2 years. So that will be one of my things, will be to seek out people who you admire and who you really respect. And I would reach out, I would lie in my bed at night and I would reach out to 200 of them on Instagram, on Twitter. I would direct message them, I would tweet them, and I would just offer value. And if you've got skills, maybe you're a good editor, or maybe you've just got labor skills, you can say, listen, if you want me to come and, reach out to Chris Stone, who's on this broadcast tonight. He makes incredible, short films, show reels and stuff. Say, mate, I will come and hold the reflector on your set so I can be around you, your actors, and I can, find out how this industry kind of works, and you can maybe introduce me to people who are going to be on that set. That is worth way more than you just being stubborn and going, I'm only ever going to work and when people pay me for my work. I spent 2 years at college qualifying to be an actor and I should just have work. That's that bullshit entitlement I was talking about before. And people can give you all this stuff, and equity even do as well. And I'd even I'd even put this to them. And I'm a massive fan of Equity, the Actors Union, and standing up for your rights and all that sort of stuff. But I'm just about, look, how to fast track your career. You can say, oh, plumbers don't work for free. There's not 1,000 plumbers outside my house if I need a new tap fitting, begging to fit my tap, mate. But if I was casting a big show, there would be 1,000 actors outside begging to be in it. So it's a bullshit comparison. You can't compare the two. So there's nothing wrong with working for free, picking your battles, and and using that to add value to other people. So the next time they are doing something, maybe they're in a position to pay you, they'll do that. So that would be one of my big tips. Definitely get out, meet people. I'd obviously say get an actonthis.tv membership. I'm not trying to sell you, mate, but you will learn more. If I was leaving drama school, and I went to drama school, not college, but a drama school like university, kind of, where you get a bit older, one of the best in the country, and I honestly learned nothing about the TV industry, nothing at all. I did 3 years at one of the best drama schools in the country, the Manchester School of Theatre, the Capitol Theatre at Manchester Met, and I learned more 6 weeks of weekly acting for TV classes than I did there about TV. It was great training for theatre, but I only ever wanted to work in TV, and they didn't teach us anything about the business of the business. So for the last 10 years, that's why I've been interviewing all of these people on actonthis.tv to teach actors about the business of the business. It's all well and good being a good actor, but if you can't convert that talent into cash, and that might sound crude, but ultimately that's what you need to do if you want to continue to be an actor, you have to pay your rent, your mortgage, your bills, then you need to figure out the business of the business. And, this site has got 250 hours worth of interviews with the people who run this industry. Most people would say they would rip their right arm off to get in the room with Daniel Edwards, the guy who cast Line of Duty. He sat down at my kitchen table for 3 hours and basically told people what they would have to do in order to make that happen. You don't get that kind of information really anywhere else, particularly that you can just listen to and watch from your own home. So I would say get a membership to this. And my first thing, your first port of call will be to get on Spotlight, mate. If your college does not qualify you automatically for a Spotlight membership, your first thing is going to be to get 4 professional credits that you can go on spotlight.com to find out the criteria for that. There can't be music videos, there can't be commercials, there can't be short films, which is ironic considering so much of what is cast on Spotlight is commercials, music videos and short films. But yeah, they can't be those. You've got to get 4 professional credits that are speaking roles, paid roles in either feature film, TV, theatre. It can be like theatre and education, and also Monologue Slam. Check out Monologue Slam. That's an event that Jimmy Akambola and Fraser Ayres runs, where you go and perform a monologue at various events around the country. And if you perform a Monologue Slam, that counts as 1 credit. So I'll be looking at getting my 4 credits. So meet people, offer your work for free to get experience, mate, and get on Spotlight. That would be my suggestions for now. I mean, there's a lot more to do after that. Then you would start looking for an agent, and and it would go on and on and on from there. But you're going to need to get on Spotlight before most agents are going to really be able to work with you. Yeah, Ken McCready, Andrew, agent. Yeah, Ken McCready, great guy. Yeah, he died, didn't he, this week? Was that COVID, mate? I saw that on Twitter. I think it might have been. I mean, honestly, it's taking people out in our industry as well. It's like, it is. We're gonna have a rough week, but you've got to stay optimistic. folks, definitely. Listen, we're at just gone 10 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap it up. But Chris is doing... Chris, what are you doing? Are you doing your thing now? Chris Stone is going to play, I think, within this group, within actsonthis.tv/groups, facebook.com/groups/actsonthistv, but also in his own page, which is facebook.com/Chris Stone Director. He's going to start playing some showreel scenes out to entertain you guys for the next hour, I think. Please come and join us tomorrow night with Martin Gibbons. If you've not got your membership for actsonthis.tv yet, go get one. Go to actsonthis.tv / and I'm going to type it in /live. You'll see this page here with the schedule of events. It's changing all the time as I update this every week, but Martin Gibbons tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m, and then the casting director of The Witcher on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Next Tuesday, Dan Hubbard, one of the biggest casting directors in the country, at 7:30 p.m, and I will be announcing more of these every Tuesday and every Thursday from now on whilst we're in lockdown to keep you guys motivated, inspired, focused, and productive. So actsonthis.tv, get your membership. Hope to see you there tomorrow night. Those who are already members, you will find links to tomorrow night's broadcast with Martin in your members area. You'll also get an email at 1:30 tomorrow in the afternoon with a 6-hour warning and a message at 6:30 with a 60-minute warning. Don't be late. We're going to be starting bang on. Well, I'll give you to like 32 minutes past 7. We'll give you 2 minutes to get in the room, and then we will be starting. We're going to get as much out of Martin as we possibly can. So thank you so much for being here. Tanika says, Chris, I forgot to ask, do you offer advice on show reels? Chris is your show reel man. Of course he does. He'll give you all the advice in the world. £17 a month, says Samuel, but it's valuable. Honestly, it's ridiculously cheap. It's £17 a month for 8 webinars works out at £2.12 for every 90-minute webinar. I massively appreciate the fact that money is tight for most people right now, particularly for actors. It always is, but I would also suggest people audit where they are hemorrhaging money in their lives. Do you have Netflix? Do you have Spotify and Apple Music? Do you need them both? Why are you paying for both? What's more important to you, your acting career or Amazon Prime? There's a lot of money that we all, and I'm culpable of this as well, just throwing away on stuff that's nice to have, but not all that necessary. I'm making these as cheap as possible. I'm not going to go into like figures and stuff, but it literally costs me thousands of pounds a month to run actsonthis.tv. I've made it as affordable as possible, and I don't publicise this, and it's because I don't want people to think I'm an absolute twat. I'll say it once on here, right? But every guest, you might know this, gets a charity donation. So, for instance, today I sent some money over to a charity called Focus Island, which is a homeless charity in Ireland. The week before last, we gave money to what was Kelly Valentine Hendry's charity? Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but we recently gave money to a lad. You know what? Sometimes we give it to personal, like single individual people as well, not just charities. So there was a lad, poor guy, who had been diagnosed with bone cancer in his knee a few weeks ago. His mum had to take all the time off work to look after him and take him to treatment. He was only about 17, 18. 150 quid went to him. You know, as a community, and again, I get uncomfortable talking about it and posting it on social media because I hate those people who go out and buy food for the homeless and then film themselves doing it. It's bullshit. Just go and do it, right? So I don't post on social media because I think it's crass. But please just know, everyone who's a part of this community, you know what, 1,200 quid a month right now is going to incredible causes. So it is a force for good. We're all. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. It's your money that you're putting into this community, and I'm just donating it on your behalf. But just know there's a lot of good being done here. It's not just like, you know, some fat cat collecting, you know, the money and running off with it. It's going to some great causes, and it's obviously going back into running the site as well. It's not cheap to run the site and employ people, but we're doing a lot of good with it. So I can't, thank you enough for that. Lee says it's the best £17 you will ever spend. £17 would only get you one toilet roll nowadays. It probably would. You might get a 4-pack of toilet roll, definitely. But we are doing good. Oh yeah, and also Mel's put a link there as well. He says that annual is cheaper. Yeah, you can pay annually if you want. It's 147 quid for the year. Works out at £12.25 a month. So that would mean for 8 webinars, what's that? £1. Don't even know what it is. What, £1.25? Something like that per 90-minute webinar. Honestly, when most rip-off bullshit workshops that aren't the ones who we promote in this community, because we promote some good ones. Andrea runs good ones. Casting workshops are very good. Actors Guild are very, decent and valuable. There's a few other ones that are really good as well. But there's a lot of bullshit out there charging you 65 quid to go and see a casting director for 2 hours. F that. What a load of shite. So for 17 quid or 12.25 a month to get access to these guys and actually get information you can act on and turn into cash by booking jobs is genuinely really, really, good value. But I am doing it, like I say, please know I'm doing it as cheap as I can. I'm not making millions of pounds out of this. I'm not running off with your money. And the whole goal of this, I've said this before, right? Obviously, the goal of this is to grow this community where it becomes profitable. Of course it is. Why would I do it otherwise? I can't, for 8 years, it cost me $4,000 a year of my own money to run this community. I'll be dead open with you guys on the money. I was very lucky to be working in my acting career and voiceover career. I could afford to subsidize the community. That it's almost paid me that back over the years, but it took 8 years to get to that point. Now it's got to the point where it will become profitable. It's becoming profitable and it should get more and more profitable. And what I want to do with that money is not go and buy bling bling and go on holidays and buy watches and bullshit like that. I don't need that to feel good about myself. I think people who do that the minute they get any success are just masking some kind of pain in their head of not feeling good enough. What I want to do with the profits from this community is create some incredible short films, some web series, some creative projects that where I possibly can, I employ you lot who have helped me build this community, because what's better than that? It comes full circle. So that's ultimately the end game. I don't know what point we're going to get, when that's going to happen. But that would be my ultimate, to use this community as a vehicle for all of us to be able to be more creative. And like I say, only when you feel creative, no pressure right now to be creative, everybody. Don't put that pressure on yourself. We mentioned that before. A lot of actors are like, oh God, I'm feeling so much pressure to create right now and I'm not feeling adequate enough. Bullshit. Just stay alive, stay safe, look after yourself, look after your loved ones as well. Don't think I've seen you take a holiday, says Alex. I haven't, mate. And it's honestly, it's because I genuinely don't need to. This can be really quite overwhelming sometimes, running this community. It can be, it's a lot of work. And there's only me and Petch. Petch works 3 days a week for me. And then I do the rest of the work. There's no one else running this community. So everything you see, video, edited, audio, anything you see on the website, these lives, it's all me. Or Petch does some editing for me as well. But I get to do it. I don't have to do it. It's a privilege to do it. But because I love it, genuinely, mate, like, I don't feel I need anything else. I don't, there's a reason you always see me in a black t-shirt that's £6 from Top Man. No, River Island, isn't it? Where Alex works. I don't need to mask any insecurities or anything with bling and fast. I can't drive because of my eye condition, but if I could, fast cars or watches and stuff, I just think it's just stupid. And I think that's also what's got people into a lot of trouble right now, because people didn't save. So now they're really struggling because they bought a car that actually they only bought to impress people they didn't even like. They bought something they didn't need with money they didn't have to impress people they didn't even like. And it was masking some insecurity within them. And what they didn't realize, that actually that car owned them. Because the minute something like this happens, and yes, of course, none of us could have predicted it, they realize that, holy shit, I can't pay for my BMW. It's now going to be repossessed, and I never owned it. It always owned me. So you've got to get yourself to that point where you don't need any extrinsic material bullshit. Like I say, hopefully this crisis right now is teaching you that. The stuff that really matters are the simple things, your freedom, your loved one's health, your health, basic things like food, that like suddenly you're like, oh my God, I can't go to the supermarket. Everyone panics. Like, you just take food for granted. It's not the nonsense that you're seeing people post on Instagram and all this fake crap that actually matters and makes you happy in life. So hopefully, yeah, people are reflecting on that right now, and we're all going to be a little bit more grateful when this is over. So thank you, massively appreciate you all for being here. Do the virtual meetups happen on the first Saturday of the month? They do, Fanny. So so what we're doing, guys, so normally we would do an in-person meetup for anyone in this community at all on the first Saturday of every month in Manchester and London. We can't do those now, obviously. So what I've started doing, and I don't want to sound cruel on this, but it's just to limit numbers, because there is a limit to how many people that you can bring in on Zoom. I've got to restrict these for the time being just to premium members of actsonthis.tv. You can't have more. I think we had about 50 people. You can have 100 people in a Zoom room. I think actually now I upgraded the package. I might be able to have 200, but there's nearly like 750 premium members. Obviously, they've got to get an opportunity to jump on those calls. So if you are a member, what you'll find in your members area, maybe a week before, this is going to happen on the first Saturday of every month, 11 a.m. till 12:30, just an hour and a half. We had a great session this Saturday just gone. You'll find a Zoom link in your members area that you can click on that Saturday morning, jump into a call, and anything you need support with, you can you can jump on a camera and chat to the whole community about it. But we had a really great time on Saturday. So if anybody wants to join that next month, that will be the first Saturday of May, which will be what's the date? The 2nd, May the 2nd. But I'll keep everyone posted about that in the Facebook group. Right, gotta go. Because I know Chris is going to want everybody to go and watch his thingy as well. Go and watch his little show reel. What is it called, Chris? I can't remember what it was called. He's not going to be here now anyway. But go to facebook.com/Chris Stone Actor. Not Chris Stone Actor, Chris Stone Director. And you can watch his live broadcast now. Thank you for being here. Honestly, it means the world. Please look after yourselves. Take care. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow night on the Martin Gibbons webinar. Go to actonthis.tv/live. If you haven't got your membership, go and get one. Check out the full schedule there. If you're listening on the audio experience and you've missed that live, don't worry. There will be a recording over on actonthis.tv. Please check out actonthis.tv/live for future webinars that you might not have missed yet. And I'll catch up with you guys very, very soon. I'll play this little invite from Martin to finish up on. But yeah, hope to see you tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Keep an eye out for your email invites. The Zoom link is already in your members area. And we're going to have a bloody good time. Stay positive, everybody. Stay safe. Lots of love. Bye for now. They keep on coming, folks. I want to invite you to another incredible actonthis.tv live event that's happening on Tuesday, the 7th of April, 7:30 till 9 p.m. over on actonthis.tv/live with this man joining me live right now, one of the UK's biggest commercial casting directors, Mr. Martin Gibbons. Martin, it's been a while since you've been on the site. Thank you for doing this again.
You're welcome, Ross. Nice to be back.
Absolutely. I think last time we saw you, you just cast a commercial with Sly Stallone, the Warburton's commercial.
Oh, absolutely. It's up there with one of the weirder ones I've done. Yeah,
it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what we're going to be doing, guys, Tuesday night, you're going to be at a jump on camera with me and Martin, talk to Martin one-to-one, get some career coaching, anything you need to know about casting commercials, auditioning for commercials, ultimately booking commercials, getting in the room with people like Martin and taking your career, further, faster. If you do want to join us, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live to find out exactly how you can do that and get involved with loads of these live webinars that I'm doing with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers in TV. But Martin, I'm going to give you a few seconds to tell people why they don't want to miss this.
Crikey. Right, well, I would say if you watch this for an hour and a half, I guarantee you will be better at commercial castings once you've watched it.
Well, there you go. Can't ask for more than that. We will see you there, 7:30 p.m, 7th of April. Until then, bye for now.